If LeBron James isn't the GOAT, then what the hell is he really? Is he the greatest drama queen in league history? Cause he's certainly acting like one with this Stephen A. Smith and Bronny James situation. There has been countless of NBA reporters or just sports analysts in general that has said negative things about LeBron James, but he has never approached any reporter during a game like how he approached Stephen A. Smith. If you think LeBron James did way too much by approaching Stephen A. Smith during a timeout, give this video a like. And if you think otherwise, let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. A lot of people has mixed emotion or mixed response in this whole saga that's happening right now with the Bronny James and, Stephen A. Smith situation. Some people say that they understand LeBron James and where he's coming from because as a father, you gotta protect your own child at any cost. But at the same time, a lot of people are also saying that LeBron James is the one that who's putting his son out there talking about he's better than half of the guys that's in the NBA. So of course a lot of people is gonna respond to that. Like, you're LeBron James. Every time you say something, people are gonna react to it, especially when it involves your son. And to be honest with you, I can't really give LeBron James the credit on how good of a person Bronny James is. Overall, Bronny James is a good character. We never heard anything bad about this person growing up, like being under the lights of your father being LeBron James. We never heard Bronny misbehave and being on the news about, stealing something or misbehaving at a club. He's a good character overall. And later in this video, I will talk more about where his good character is coming from, because there's one person that's responsible for Bronny James to have a good character, and that person ain't LeBron James. So stick around at the end to find out who that person is. If you haven't done so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button, as I will be making videos for you guys every week. And now, let's get to it. Stephen A. Smith just went off on LeBron James on First Take today, as a response to LeBron James being in the Pat McAfee show, straight up calling LeBron James as a liar. LeBron James can't stand the fact that Stephen A. Smith won't label him as the greatest of all time. In Stephen A. Smith's eyes, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time that ever played basketball. And we must admit that Stephen A. Smith is the biggest reporter out there. The man just signed a $100 million deal as a reporter. Now that's unheard of. That makes him the biggest sports analyst of all time. And it's fair to say that Stephen A. Smith is basically the LeBron James on his field. And LeBron James can't stand the fact that he doesn't have him on his side. It's quite obvious that in the past 22 years that LeBron James has been in the NBA, there is a narrative that the media has been trying to push in the past 22 years that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. But it's just not buying to a lot of people nowadays, especially with Stephen A. Smith. I only say nowadays because maybe earlier in his career, a lot of people might have been like, you know what, there's a potential of LeBron James becoming the greatest player of all time. But since he's in his back end of his career, we've seen 22 years of LeBron James, and he's only won 4 championships and lost 6 of them, which is Stephen A. Smith's main argument when it comes to the GOAT debate. What about you guys? What's your opinion? Who do you think is the GOAT? Is it Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James? Let me know in the comments. Even with some reporters that think that LeBron James is the greatest of all time, like Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins has been on the record repeatedly saying that LeBron James is his greatest of all time, over Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. But there was this one time when LeBron James didn't like what Kendrick Perkins had said about him, and he became emotional, and apparently he didn't like it and ultimately unfollowed him on Instagram, which Kendrick Perkins responded by blocking him on his phone. This says a lot about how sensitive LeBron James can be, even though you label him as your greatest of all time above everybody, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. It seems like you really have to fall in line and follow the narrative that him and his team are putting out there about LeBron James, the brand LeBron James. You really have to fall in line on what they are putting out there. And if you ever go outside those lines, boy, hell is about to break loose because you said one negative thing about Queen James. And Stephen A. Smith is just one of those reporters that won't fall in line. because Stephen A. Smith has to report things honestly. At the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith worked for ESPN/Disney. He don't work for no player. I'll give you an example of reporters or podcasters that had fallen in line with LeBron James and went on with the narrative of him being the best player of all time. And these reporters have benefited from that narrative. We've seen in multiple occasions that Shannon Sharpe, aka Club Shay Shay, wearing that goat mask and drinking Hennessy at the same time while talking about how great LeBron James is. He definitely has a lot of delusional takes when it comes to LeBron James and bringing up crazy ass stats that doesn't even exist or make any sense at all. Another reporter or podcaster is JJ Redick. Man, JJ Redick has rode that narrative of LeBron James being the best of all time, or even just praising LeBron James in general. He rode that narrative so hard, it landed him that head coaching job with the LA Lakers with zero head coaching job in the NBA. Forget about head coaching job, but coaching job in general. I remember when JJ Redick used to talk about some really disrespectful stuff about the previous generation of basketball players, talking about how the players back then isn't as good as they are now. Yeah, there might be some truth into that, but he's really saying those things just to degrade Michael Jordan's competition, and it was just that much easier for him to claim that he was the greatest of all time because the competition wasn't as good, which makes it an easier argument that LeBron James right now is a better player compared to Michael Jordan because his competition nowadays is so much more tougher compared to how it used to be back in the 90s and 80s. That narrative is something LeBron James has been running with for the past few years now, especially in his media company in Uninterrupted. LeBron James himself is starting to look like a record label. You know how when the record label signs some new artists and now all of their artists needs to sing some type of way, rap some type of way, and dress some type of way? That's exactly what's happening right now in the media with some reporters and some podcasters, which is JJ Redick and Shannon Sharpe. But Stephen A. Smith himself will never fold and follow that type of false narrative. It might work to these newcomers, or aka the new media, which is the podcast space, but not with the old heads like Stephen A. Smith himself. As much of a good coach JJ Redick might be, we also have to look at how tough it is to coach LeBron James and his son at the same time. The amount of balancing JJ Redick have to do between winning games and giving Bronny James playing time because of the pressure that he got from his father is tremendously heavy. LeBron James is only making this worse for his son because it seems like nobody can say anything negative towards Bronny James. As much as he said on the show with Pat McAfee that, he's in for healthy criticism for the sport and for the athletes, but at the same time, I have to protect my household, not only my household, but also the league. Bro, you're clearly not protecting the league or the players that's playing in the league. You're clearly in it for your son. And if you really look at the whole situation, it makes you really think that, is this dude really out here protecting his son, or is he just trying to protect himself? Because once an athlete make it to the professional level, dude, like, you have no grace or you can't get a bye when it comes to getting criticized by all media outlets and reporters. So the fact that LeBron James is saying I'm protecting the league, like, man, that doesn't apply to this. There has been countless of players back in the day or in the past that has been criticized by the media, but you've never seen this fool run up on any reporters about any players until Bronny James. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I was gonna talk about that one person that doesn't get enough credit on why Bronny James is such a high character person, and that person is Savannah James. LeBron James being a public eye, obviously he's gonna be on the road for the most part, therefore he's not gonna be home as much. I don't think Savannah James is getting enough credit of how good of a mother she is to Bronny James, not just to Bronny, but to the rest of the kids in the James family. She's a big reason why we haven't seen any of the James kid having like a crash out episode in public or in, just in the public eye in general. It's very easy for a billion-dollar family that could just, go off track, and you see so many celebrities where their kids are just going crazy left and right, doing drugs, stealing, and just having no control with their lives. So we all gotta give a lot of credit to Savannah James for holding it down while LeBron James was away, because man, she did a great job of raising those kids. So there you go, just a little different angle from this whole situation with Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. And if you made it this far in my video, don't forget to press the like button and comment down below if you want me to make a certain video. And if you haven't done so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And we will see you on the next video.